What's up, YouTube? We're back with another live stream. This one gonna be about relationships and gang stalking, the do's, the don'ts, and the whys, and stuff like that. This gonna be a pretty long live stream. Uh, it's just a lot to discuss with this. Like it's a lot to discuss. So it's just like it's it's honestly something that my personal opinion. I'm gonna start with this. Should you be in a relationship while you being gang stalked? It just depends. It depends on what your triggers are. Some people don't even watch movies. I don't really watch movies unless I'm around my significant other. You know what I'm saying? But music just pretty much a no. What if she listens to a certain type of music that you don't listen to, or your significant other listen to a certain type of music that you don't listen to, or something like that? But that's a deeper aspect of it. But we have to get into all like aspects of it. We have to get into all aspects of it because it's just like it's not something that you should really do. You know, honestly, I mean, unless you're in a relationship with another targeted individual, um, I wouldn't do it. And that's just the straight up answer. Like I wouldn't, unless you're in a relationship with another targeted individual, I wouldn't do it. All these people are atheists. If you're not into, yeah, I'm not even gonna get into that part, but most people in society are atheists. They're atheistic, and you can throw them in a satanic category. Some people, um, they grow out of being an atheist. They finally find God late in life and stuff like that. But that's kind of not about gang stalking in relationships. So let's get back into it. It's just kind of something that you don't really want to do, especially the more simple it is. It's just like everywhere you go, they're going to be sending, honey traps that you can talk to. It's like this. Even if they not sending them, even if the your significant other, a person you want to talk to, don't work for not working for anyone. They're just regular people. They're still of the world, like you aren't. You have certain triggers. They're still of the world. They might be into materialism. They might like somebody that, most people likes people that have a lot of money to spend on others. You know, so it's not something that you should really do as far as being targeted. When you can. That's why I say you should always have your stuff together before you get in a relationship. Unless you get in a relationship and both of y'all paying bills and stuff like that, y'all get an apartment or something together, whatever, that helps you out. If it's somebody that's doing that, like that can help you out, but it's just something that you really shouldn't do. You got triggers. Like you got triggers. Like y'all gotta go on dates and stuff like that. You need to have your ego together. You need to have everything together before get in a relationship. You need to have everything together. Everything, especially financially. Especially financially. I mean, it's depending on who you're looking for. Like you might can get in a relationship, but it might not be somebody that you actually like. You know what I'm saying? Like it might not be somebody that looks attractive to you. It might be a person that you just want to have some fun with. Whether that's sexual or most likely that's what that is. So like it's just something that you really shouldn't focus on unless the person is like like you know, like helping you up the ladder. Unless a person's helping you up the ladder, then you really shouldn't be in a relationship. By helping you up the ladder, I mean, like getting in an apartment with you and y'all paying, half the rent together or something like that. But I wouldn't even do that then. But it's just like everybody is in the world and of the world, and they like worldly things. They like worldly things. You might not like worldly things. You might have some stuff that you don't like anymore. Like me, I stopped listening to music. And I've also watched honeypots, honey traps, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it, honeypots, honey traps. I've also been in multiple situations to where I'm just a spending tool. So imagine being a targeted individual. You being financially deprived, and you become a spending tool while you being financially deprived. So you got it together, uh, you know, say you up five figures. Say you up five figures, right? And you just become a spending tool. You want to have your finances together extremely before you do that. But personally, I can't do it. Like I can, but it's just like I'm I'm giving y'all the best advice. Like I can do relationships, but it's just something not to do. Like it's something unless it's unless it has nothing to do with money. You know what I'm saying? Unless it has nothing to do with money, then you shouldn't be in a relationship. If it has something to do with y'all, with you having to buy her clothes, like it's your child or something, and then that's another thing. You don't want to have children with a honeypot, right? You don't want to have children really at all. I mean, you should, but say you have a child, right? In my situation, I have one child. I have a daughter, and I'm on child support. I didn't have to be. I left. For a little bit. I left for a little bit, but say you in a relationship, you get her pregnant, and you end up on child support. You get her pregnant, and you end up on child support. And not only on you're on child support, but you don't have any funds but working to support you. But you paying $500 in child support. You pay $400 in child support, but you don't have anything but funds. Like nothing but funds. Like you don't have anything but your funds just come from completely working. Like most of your money from your work is going to that. It's going to child support. It's going to child support. So I'm getting down to you know, the real aspects of it, like of why you shouldn't do that. You know, but relationships is just like it's just something that you shouldn't do. It's something that you shouldn't do as a targeted individual. You're being sensitized to things. Then, if you live with the girl or something like that, your YouTube, your YouTube channel stays up. When you go to work, she at the house. Your YouTube channel stays up, right? She can go and look and find out that you a targeted individual. Find out what targeted individuals is. Then she might leave you from just figuring that out. Like, what you a target? The government targeting you? She gonna leave you alone, right? That's obvious. So that's just something that you want to take serious. Like you really want to take that serious. You don't want to do that. You want to take financial. You want to take your finances serious before you get in a relationship. Straight up, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be because you can end up down bad to a point to where you in an argument, right? and y'all stay together. You in an argument, but you ain't got no money, and she decides to leave you. You done been spending all of your money on her. You done been doing this, that, all of that. You feel what I'm saying? And she just decides to just leave. Now you sick. Now you sick because you don't have any money to, to go get over her. What I mean by that is getting another girlfriend or something like that. You don't have the money to get over her. So that's just something that you shouldn't do. Because if you ain't got your stuff together, you get in an argument with your girl trying to leave, you'll end up in a domestic violence case. Straight up. If your girl trying to leave you, you ain't got your money together, it puts you in a mindset of that scientific method is going to be, oh, who she trying to leave for? She finna walk out the door to a man in a Bentley. She finna walk out the door to a man in a sports car. That's your mindset. That's your mindset. I'm trying to tell you the scientific method of it. Your mindset when your girlfriend is trying to leave you is she finna walk out the door to to a um to a man in a sports car. She finna walk out the door to a man that that that's better than me, sexually. That's your mindset. When you have your finances together, you wouldn't really care about that at all. I mean, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. You shouldn't care about it at all. So, like relationships and gang stalking is just something that you really shouldn't do, but you can. It's sometimes it's targeting individuals we want love, so we can't escape that sometimes. Like we can't escape trying to be in a relationship sometimes. We can't escape trying to have sexual intercourse sometimes. We can't escape that sometimes. And me, I've went 90 days, 60 days, something multiple times on semen retention. Sometimes we can't escape trying to be in a relationship as targeted individuals, you know. So that's just what that is. It's just better not to be in a relationship. It's better not to be in a relationship. It's better, you know. You can still have sexual intercourse and not be in a relationship. It's plenty out there. You know what I'm saying? It's plenty out there. It's plenty. Like it's plenty. Like it is plenty out there, and it's so good to do that. Like you can still be having sexual intercourse without a relationship. Like every other target say when they speak about this, most people that I hear, they say don't get in a relationship with somebody that's not a targeted individual. Most people that I hear say that. That's what they say. But it's like, who is a targeted individual? My baby mother's not a targeted individual. We we had a relationship for a minute. Pregnancy. She got pregnant, so that's what kind of kept it. I guess it kept it together. But it's just like, what targeted individual are you going to find? There's not many of us. There's not many targeted individuals. And then when you do find the targeted individual, you usually got to move out of state to find one. Usually. So it's just something that you shouldn't really be focused on. If you do, let it be some real love. Let it be something that's not based off of finances. Let it be something that's not based off of having to uh, go on dates all the time, having to buy clothing, having to buy stuff for her. and stuff like that. You gotta focus on that type of stuff. That stuff exists. It exists. So that's just stuff you have to understand about this. But I'm gonna keep babbling on and babbling on until I somebody get on here with some some questions or something. Drop some comments that you want to talk about or anything like that. But this live stream will be based on relationships and gang stalking. I've been pretty much uh, successful with, like, I date people that aren't um, targeted individuals. I know how to deal with it, like, but it's just it can look like they're trying to drain you of your pockets on purpose. Like, I'm dealing with this girl right now. Like, she called me over to her house and always wants something. You know what I'm saying? Always wants something. Always asking me for something. Financially wise. And then it just makes then I gotta spend $20 to get there, $20 to get back where I'm at. You feel what I'm saying? Buy some food, $60, buy some food for the both of us. That's $100 right there. You know how much $100 is? That's a lot. It's not, but it's that's a lot to be doing. But it's just like you just need to just focus on your finances. Focus on your finances. My next live stream going to be about what new targets want to hear. Because it seems as if people try to not pay me attention when I talk about the goal of this overall targeting. If you're actually being targeted, it seems to be a problem. It seems that people don't like to hear logistics. It seems that people don't like to hear that regular people aren't watching them through their phone camera. That's what it seems to me. That's what it seems to me. Some people want to hear it, but that's what it seems to me. It seems like that to me. Like, it seems like that to me. But it bothers me. It bothers me. I wasn't a person that didn't want to hear that type of stuff. When people weren't really talking about that. People were talking about the same thing, not understanding the scientific method of citizens being dispatched to basically tell you that they know what you got going on in your house. Speaking on stuff that you talk about alone, nobody else knows about in your life. Um, Stuff like that. People don't understand the scientific method of the reason that they dispatch people to act like they're in your life. They're in your information. People don't understand the scientific method of that. And the reason that it's not true is because the scientific method is for you to act crazy. It's for you to talk to yourself, extract information from you because you think citizens are listening to you. Because you feel as if they're important. If they just told you it was 3 little agencies listening to you, you wouldn't be talking to yourself. People don't like to hear the truth. People don't like to hear. And I was a person that thought that citizens were involved in the surveillance aspect, which is impossible. Impossible. But back to relationships and gang stalking. It's just something that you just don't want to do. It's not smart. It's not. Unless you have your stuff together, unless you were a person that believes in your targeting, I wouldn't tell. I wouldn't even tell. If I was y'all, I wouldn't even tell my significant other that I'm being targeted. When I date somebody, I don't tell them that. I don't tell them that. Because that's how I guess, lose your um, relationship. That's how you'll lose your relationship. You, oh yeah, I'm being targeted by the government. You tell your girlfriend you're being targeted by the government, I guarantee you she's gonna leave extremely soon. For one, it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy for one, but for two, it's just not. It's not real. Like it's not. Like it's not a thing. Like it's just. I don't know. Like you just don't want to do that. Like it's not something you want to do. It's not smart. Excuse me. It's not smart. Yo, look, like I just hear regular people talking sometimes. Like I've had conversations with people. Like, yeah, man, I left my wife, and I gave her $400,000, and like like, yeah, I've had this conversation with a person at a shelter. You know what I'm saying? Like it's wild, bro. Like you just don't. It's something that you just don't want to do. Not saying that money is the important, but comfortability is important. Comfortability is very important. It's very important. And then again, you can work every day. You can work every day and still be financially supporting someone to put a smile on their face. But it's just at the end of the day, it's going to leave you financially unstable. And that's extremely financially unstable. Extremely. I'm talking about broke. Like imagine being in relationships. You going on dates every day. That's me and my baby mom used to go on dates almost every damn day, almost every day. Almost every day we would be somewhere, like just sitting down somewhere almost every day. Every day I would bring her lunch to her job or something like that. Either it was something like that. Something like that. And then you look back and you realize that's why you ended up broke. Like I think I had a car. I had a car at the time I was dating my baby mother, and I ended up getting that car towed because of no insurance. And this was right after we found out she was pregnant, like 3 months into us dating. Like 3 months into us dating, like my car got towed. Then I started living with her and stuff like that. But that was like 2023, 2022 or something like that. But it's just like, it's just sad. Like it's sad, like how they'll financially deprive you. Like I just got financially deprived, like almost $200 the other day. Oh yeah, like the other day, like the day before yesterday. Going over this girl house, she called me over there, said this and that. So I go over there, and she trying to ask me to buy her food and stuff like that. She just got her apartment. She talking about she ain't got no groceries and stuff. So I do that. And I leave. But she talking about she got pregnant by somebody else. We're not dating. Like it's just something. We just in a situation shit. She talking about the dude that she was talking to before me. I wasn't really talking to her like that. But like yeah, like it's not somebody I would date. We wouldn't date. Like I said, you gotta like you gotta get your rocks off. You get what I'm saying? Like sometimes you don't want to be masturbating to do that. But yeah, like I don't really care for that. It's not something. It's not somebody I date. But yeah, I bought a pregnancy test and all of that and that was for somebody else. She wasn't pregnant though, but that's just what that was. But it's just like I don't really care. I never really cared for that stuff. Like that's it. Being a target, it tells you certain stuff. It shows you certain stuff you shouldn't care about, and that being relationships. Relationships have never been. Well, they used to make me shed a few tears. Then you realize how stupid it is. It's just like materialism. Relationships are just like materialism. You can go get another one. It's just like materialism. People have crashed out over relationships. I'm talking about completely ruined their life over relationships. And it's just materialism. We all supply each other, whether you're a man or woman. That man is just supplies. That woman just supplies. That's how you should really look at it when you look at logistics, right? What is the point of crying over a relationship? You really, in the back of your mind, you know it's just about sex in the back of your mind. And you crying, crashing out, doing everything over a relationship, and you can just go get another relationship. I don't want to get that game up like that, but it's just targeted individuals that I'm speaking to. I'm not speaking to anyone else. So yeah, I'm not really reading from anything on this one. I usually read from my YouTube post, stuff that I post, but I feel like I could freestyle the relationship part of it because it's just something that you really shouldn't take serious. You shouldn't take relationships serious at all. At all. At all. And it makes you understand why they say put God first. That's what it makes you understand. Because it's just like you can go get another relationship. Why even care? I wouldn't say it took my heart away, but no, exactly, no, it didn't. But it's just I can never care. I can't care about a relationship. God say don't. Actually, you put nothing before Him. But I can't care about a relationship. I can't. I can't. Like I can't. I can't care about somebody leaving me. I can't. It's just no. There you go. Get another one. It's simple as that. It's like materialism. It's just materialism. Relationships, whether you're a man or woman, it's materialism. They're materialism. Your significant other is materialism. That is a material. That is supplies. That means that's just like going to the store. You're gonna cry over uh, that one pack of candy. When you can go to the store and get another one, you're going, oh, I opened the pack of candy. All of it fell out. Oh my gosh. You know what I'm saying? You can literally just go get another one. And this is why I say you apply logistics to all parts of your life. You should. And, like most people care about what that other person is going to do after the relationship is done. Your relationship is not going to last over 10 years in 2026. I guarantee you that. So that person is already going to do that. And if your relationship lasts 10 years, they're probably going to do that within that 10 years with somebody else. You probably never find out. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. Like, yeah, like I'm just keeping it real. Like that's just what that is. Like you shouldn't care about that. Like you shouldn't care about that. I can never care about that. I've applied logistics. The Bible is basic instructions before leaving earth. I've applied logistics. I've applied logistics. That's something you really shouldn't care about. God say put everything. Uh, God say put Him before everything. Before everything, and I just now realized why. It's really basic instructions before leaving earth. It's really instructions are very basic instructions. But that's not. It's not. I'm not trying to put the Bible on everyone and say, "Hey, do this and do that." Nah, I'm not trying to do that. That's not what I'm trying to do. But it's just very basic instructions that people don't understand. It's just like how you don't understand. It takes a minute. It does take a minute. It takes a minute. But yeah, it's just like relationships nowadays with people that aren't targeting individuals. They're finance based, financial based relationships. Relationship based off finances. How many clothes can you buy for me? Uh, can I live in your apartment with you? You know what I'm saying? Do you have a car? Like it's finance based. So you really have to, even when you get your money together, you shouldn't really care about. It was so difficult to understand why God was saying put, you know, put God before everything. It was so difficult to realize that. It was so difficult to realize that, and then I realized, okay, that's what that means. Because how can you even care? It's just we're all supplies. We're all like supplies, like materialism. It's like how can you even care about a relationship? So it was so difficult for me to understand that until I realized like, oh wow, that makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. And I'm not here to thump that. I'm just saying I can't put that on everybody. But yeah, relationships is something that you shouldn't really do at all until you have your finances together. But you should never care. You should never care about relationships. You should never care about that, like ever. So that's just what that is. But yeah, guess I keep going with this live until I figure out what else to talk about within relationships and gang stalking. I usually have a YouTube post I can go to. I wasn't really posting too much about this because it's like people don't want to hear that. I'm applying logistics instead of intelligence. People don't want to hear that. Logistics are much more important than intelligence, bro. I've been going through this stuff since 2018. I've seen people walk away from me while I ain't have nothing, and I'm just giving everything to them. They just walk away while you have nothing. This is the disability check come in or whatever, but I would still have nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll walk away and I don't have nothing. We done spent everything on them and I have nothing. Like that stuff happens. It happens. So you gotta understand that type of stuff. You have to understand this type of stuff because that's what we're looking for as targets. We're looking for love. We're looking for a relationship. You can't really, you can't, you're looking for somebody that we all get, sexual um, urges. We all get those, so you want to be in those type of situations. Right? Like you want to be in those type of situations to where you have your finances together, and that's when you get in a relationship. Like yeah, you wanna be in a situation, but you want to be in a situation to where you have your finances together and you get in a relationship. That's when you do that because you'll be stuck in the same spot. logistically, you're going to be stuck in the same spot. Just take a year off of relationships. Take a year off of dating. Like I deleted Facebook dating, all of that stuff, just for just for a year. Take a year off of dating, see how much see how much my finances get. Now, I'm not gonna stop sex. Like it could be you can be in situations to where you're not doing anything, you're not paying for dates or anything like that. And you still got a person that you can do that with because it's just that's y'all like to do that. Like those situations happen all the time. Like that's simple stuff. That's how it usually is. But you don't want to be in a relationship. Like the short answer is no. If you don't have your finances together, don't do it unless that person's helping you. If you have, excuse me, and if you have your finances um, together enough, right? I'm talking about, say you got like four figures, you just it's a high four figures, right? Or five figures, in the early five figures, right? Um, don't do that. Don't. I wouldn't like. Don't be in a relationship until you have your money completely together. Take a year off of Facebook dating. Take a year off from all dating sites. Take a year off of dating in general. You always have the opposite sex throwing it at you. Take those opportunities. When you start working a new job, when you start working a new job, and or something like that, where you out in public, say you out in public, and the girl just, she basically throwing it at you. I've had that happen so many times, like so many, plenty of times, plenty of times. I'm talking about I met a girl that was, I was doing the delivery for Walmart, uh, and then like that same day, like I went over her house, and you get what I'm saying. And I've never went on a date with her at all. You feel what I'm saying? Like so, take advantage of those opportunities. Only those opportunities, not the opportunities of trying to be in a relationship. Because it's only going to end up having at restaurants every weekend, out spending money. Take a year off. That's the best. That's the best thing I can say. Take a year off, but you don't want to think that you have your finances together and you in your early five figures and you think you got your finances together and next thing you know, a girl come across you that you kind of got to keep happy with finances because she is like, you know, they got everything being thrown at them. You know, you know what I'm saying? So you got to make them happy in every type of way. So that's just what that is. But yeah, like take advantage of the situations that girls just throwing stuff at you and stuff like that. Take advantage of those situations, not the situations to where you begging for a date. And, she just looks so good. You just gotta just like you gotta take her on a date. Gotta do this. Gotta do that. Like take advantage of those situations. Like take advantage of those situations, or stay away from those situations. I mean, because it'll be all good. It'll be all good until, like, I mean, you're a target. Like you gonna go on lead targets. You gonna go on dates, and the you gonna go on dates, and the waitress gonna be like probably a perp and stuff like that. You gonna go on dates, and they gonna follow you on dates and be doing. But that's why I say you gotta ignore them. But oh yeah, matter of fact, that's why I don't like dates anymore too. Right? I mean, I'm still gonna go on them or whatever. When I have my finances together, but you know how you sit in a booth on a date, like say you go to a restaurant, one of those nice restaurants. I can name a couple. I don't. Once again, if if these things trigger you, I'm not a perp. A lot of take the test are $400 plus. I'm not working for any organizations. Uh, I'm not working for anybody. No one's telling me to say this stuff. This is the channel to come to and be comfortable. Okay. Um, say you're at a relationship. I mean, say you at a restaurant and you at a booth, right? You sit down. Pause. Not a booth. No, no, no. You sit down at the table, right? You sit down at a table, and you know how somebody behind you always can hear the conversation of people behind you, or they're sitting in front of you, at the next table. Like, yeah, that stuff gonna be happening when you go on relationship. When you go on a restaurant, you in a relationship, that type of stuff gonna be happening. The waiter, the server can be a perp, not necessarily do something to your food, but just making you uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, making you uncomfortable, like real shit. Like, I'm telling you, like it's just something that you don't want to do unless you have your finances together. And it's very simple. You just take a break from dating for a year. It's like that quote say. It has a public figure on it, and it says, um, just take a break from everything for 6 months, see what happens. You know, that's the reason they say that. Take a break from relationships for a whole year, 2 years if you got to, and then go back and do that. You ain't gotta give up sex. You don't have to. Like, you don't have to stop doing that. That's what I mean. Like, you don't have to stop doing that. There's plenty of girls that'll be throwing it at you. I'm talking about just throwing it at you, just like it's nothing. I'm talking about throwing it at you, like, and take advantage of those opportunities. Take advantage of every opportunity of that. Every opportunity of that. I'm talking about. I used to walk down the street and have girls just hollering out the window, stuff like that. I'm telling you, like real, like for real. Like they turn their car around, all type of stuff, like for real. Like I don't know if they purchase anything, but I got my rocks off. You know what I'm saying? Or however I don't know. Like I don't know how I want to put that. Like I don't know. You can't say certain stuff on YouTube. I ain't trying to get my channel messed up. But I still got my pants down. I got my thing wet. You know what I'm saying? Like so. Like just take advantage of those situations. That's actually all you want. What targeted individual love story there is. You know that song when the DJ stopped. You know that sound when the DJ stopped. That, bro, we were being targeted by the government, bro. Three-letter agencies, bro. I've had girls even peep that like around me. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had them peep that around me, around me. Then I had one girl, right? She gonna ask me, um, "You ever noticed them tags, like the license plate?" I swear to God, one license plate says CI, and the next letter, right, of the three-letter agency. She asked me that, and she's such a weird girl. Not weird, but she just she's weird in the fact that she might be actually literally like working for that company that I just mentioned on the license plate. Like very different type of girl. You know what I'm saying? Like different. But yeah, I've had girls notice that, like say certain stuff, like why they acting like that? Why they just do that? I think I mentioned a motel situation. The video probably took it down. I mentioned a motel situation where I had to leave hotels, I had to leave motels, and go to another one that was up the street, right? For some reason, they had started to trip on me, right? That's targeting in itself right there. But so I left that motel, went to another motel up the street. I go to the motel up the street, and I called before. I called before I went. We took a lift up to a motel. To the other motel, we took a lift, and we get to the other motel, and I called and asked. They said they had rooms, and I can come there. We go to the motel, and they said no, we don't have any rooms. And she was just like, I don't, and she was just like, why do you acting like that? Why do you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you? And I never spoke to her about targeting, gang stalking, anything like that. So it is like some type of network, you know, it's, through the agencies, all cops. I shouldn't, I don't care. That's why I tell y'all not to really care about that stuff. I always stress to y'all, don't care about that. You're a citizen. Or anybody following you around doing directed conversations, uh, you know, things messing up when you trying to get business done and stuff like that. Like trying to get a motel and you can't, or something like that. Like, bro, it's everything is through that agency, law enforcement, government, bro. They have a group that's doing that stuff, bro. You know, like that's what that is. And I pay attention. I'm not one to like, I call out my mental illnesses. I call out impossible. I call out plausible deniability. I call it out. Like, oh yeah, no, but that could have just been this. That could have just been that. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Like somebody say something. Like, for example, if somebody say something, well, they just could have been just having a conversation. You know, like so I call out that type of stuff. And there's been plenty of just blatant things that people do that I can see. And I can call out. And some I posted. But yeah, it's just that's just what it is. But yeah, relationships is something that you do not want to do that as a targeted individual. You don't want to do that until you have your finances together, because they can literally just send a honey pot to take everything, the the pot you got to piss in. If you get what I'm saying, to take everything, and they know you gonna do it just to keep it going, just to keep your relationship going. Whatever she asks for, if you got it, you gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? If you got it, you gonna do it. So them things that you have to understand, them things that you really have to understand, especially them situations like I'm on child support right now. Like, but fortunately I do have a uh, disability check and I can work. But what they can do is they really can't do that. They can't really overcharge me on child support or anything like that. They can't do that. I don't even have a job, just a disability check. And my baby mother makes, I'm pretty sure she makes way more than me. So it shouldn't be over $400 a month. But imagine making $400 a week and you spending $400 a month on child support. I actually really I think about it and it's like, dang, what if I didn't do that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, because it's like you really don't have to do that. It's like, what if I didn't, get her pregnant? You know what I'm saying? And she was asking for it. Actually, the first date, and I was just so itching, like because she, you know, she she pretty, she pretty, and she's very like different looking. Like she's like, I don't know, she's black kid, like uh, like some other race, curly head, But she was asking for that like the first date. She was like, I wonder how our kids will look the first date, and then like I was just nutting in her until it happened, and then it did like the second and third month. So but that's just crazy. Like I feel like that was a plot to have me, to take my money down. It was a plot to take my money down. It was for real, you know. And I got a visible disability. My percentage should be extremely higher, but it's not. Like I'm at 90%. I should be 100. I have a visible disability, visible that it doesn't change. Like I can never do certain things, like play basketball, shoot a basketball, um, swing anymore. I used to be one of them people that can fight. I can't swing my fist. like yeah, like uh, like yeah. Like I used to be one of them type of people. I'm just explaining my disability. But yeah, like, I can't do that now. Like, I can't do those things now. But it should be higher. But they, like I feel like that was a plot. Like, cause I was already on probation when she asked me to get her pregnant. Like she probably worked for them people, but she wasn't trying to put me on child support. Uh, at first, but there was a reason that I had to leave that state, and that reason of being going back to the place, going back to California to do DoorDash because you can make like $250 a day out there doing DoorDash, and I slipped in my car. I came back with like $5,000, like off of like 2 months. But I was doing extra stuff. It could have been a little more than that, but yeah, like for real, like so. Yeah, I went back out there and I went back to Georgia, and you know she had already said she was gonna put me on child support. We had nothing else to talk about and stuff like that, but we talked after that. She was trying to get me to move back in. Then that changed. So it's just like, relationships not something you want to be in, especially if you end up on child support, bruh, and you making $500. Imagine making $500 a week, bruh, or even worse than that. You paying 500 a month for child support, bruh. And you can end up on child support for anything. You can end up on child support just for not being in the relationship. As soon as y'all break up, child support. Y'all not together, child support. Unless you sending her money, and even if you sending her money, she can still put you on. She can still put it in the system. She can put you on child support. You know what I'm saying? She can put you on child support even if it's not in the system. Even if it's not in the system, she can put you on child support. You know, like even if you sending her money, say you taking care of your child, or you not taking care of your child. Say you not taking care of your child, but you send her money. You not with your child, but you send her money. She can still put you on child support. It's just not in the system yet. They ain't gonna be like, oh yeah, no, you can't put her on child support. He said he's sending you money. You got the receipt right here. Well, no, it's just gonna be through child support now. And if you don't send her, yeah. So if you don't send her money, it's in the system. You know what I'm saying? So it's just not something that you really want to do. And I'm in that situation myself. This is not to any other targets that's going through that, or just have a child. I listen to targets that do have children in similar situations. This is a situation I'm going through myself. I still haven't took care of child support, and I have to go out there. It's gonna be 3 years. Like I got to go out there soon and take care of child support. But right back on the road though, to shelter to shelter. I'm kind of like what they call a Moor. I'll be shelter to shelter 3 months apiece, maybe 6 months apiece, until I make high five figures. So I make a high 5 figures, which shouldn't really take long. Fortunately, I have a very ugly disability, but my salary is already mm, about 30,000 without me working because of disability. So that's just what that is. But yeah, relationships is something that you don't want to be doing. A lot of targets complain about not having a child. You can. I'm a targeted individual when I have a child. You can. You can have a child. Yes, you can. You definitely can do that. For sure. Like you can do it. It ain't, oh, everybody's in the program. They ain't gonna let me do it. No, you can do it, but it's just it's not really smart. Like what do what you want to do. Like I have one child. I don't really want to do that again unless I have my finances like close to 6 figures. I have close to 6 figures, yes. Because that means I'm gonna be working. I'm already out of materialism. Like I'm extremely out of materialism. Nothing. Like I have all my materials that I need. I wear grills. That's all I be in, and I still get girls. I don't need no materialism. I don't need. I don't need. I be in grills and slides. I got a high quality grill. I be in grills, gold grills and slides and pajamas and sweatpants. I might, um, yeah. That's. I'm not even doing none of that. Like, I'm not doing none of that. So, I'm not in materialism or nothing like that. And if I do got to be materialistic for, my child, that is nothing for them. For us, materialism for, occasionally for my girlfriend when she gonna be taking care of herself most of the time. That's really nothing. They clothing way cheaper than ours. As men, like we paying, we want some real materialism stuff. We paying like $500 for a pair of shoes. You know, that's not just, not like some retro Jordans, some nice Jordans that's sitting in the store, but they 200 for $200. No, that ain't really, nothing. I don't be dressing nice at all. I dress like a bum. I still be getting girls straight up, like it's nothing. I'm talking about like it's nothing. Like it's insane, but I don't. You don't need that, and I'm so happy that people feel like you need that. People feel like you need materialism to be successful and for somebody to like you. I mean, some people actually do need that stuff. Some people do. Some people do. But I figured out all that I need. I might upgrade my grill to diamonds when I have saved enough money for going to work. Never selling my soul. That's not nothing I need to even talk about. Not giving away my rights as a citizen to be known. That means you can't go in public without somebody disrespecting your privacy. You can't go in public. That's the number one thing. Why the hell would you want to not go in public? That's the number one thing about being a celebrity. Let me not even, I ain't gonna talk about this for too long. I'm just saying, right? Why would you not want to be able to go in public, bro? They can't even go in public. Why would you not want to be? I know people like be targeted, like, yeah, like, but once you realize who's targeting you, then it's like, why the fuck would I want to be excuse me, why would I want to be a celebrity? Because they try to make us feel like that. Once you realize that the targeting is fake and it's a script that people putting on and they actually don't know you, you know what I'm saying? It's a script that people putting on. Like they actually don't know us. They're dispatching these citizens to act this way. Directed conversations. Once you realize that stuff is a script, like once you realize that stuff is a script, you realize like, bro, why would I want to be a celebrity? Like imagine being that, bro. They can't go to Walmart, bro. They can't go to Tupac couldn't walk in no dang Walmart, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Why would you want to be that? Why would you want to be that? But that's off topic. Back to what I'm talking about, but that is called selling your soul. In other words, it's called giving away your rights as a citizen. It's called giving away your rights as a citizen. Can't walk the mall. You can't even walk Disney World. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, you got a bunch of security. Who wants to live like that? I mean, like it's benefits to it. It's pros and cons to everything. But your rights as a citizen is gone. Rights as a citizen just gone. So but yeah, like it's just not smart to be in relationships, bro. It's just not smart. As a targeted individual, it's just not smart. You got to be living in the house with your significant other. You got to leave your YouTube channel up. She see you talking about targeted individuals. Once she see that, it's already over with. She don't even know what that means. You know what I'm saying? Once she see that, it's already over with. It's already over with. So it's just like, don't do it. It's like, don't get into no relationship. Don't until you have your finances together. You know, or you could just keep the targeting. You never want to tell everybody. You never want to tell her about the targeting, the gang stalking, and stuff like that. Um, yeah, especially explaining it in deep aspects and deep aspects like cars following me. You don't want to have nobody looking all over the road while they on the highway just to act like it's happening to them, think they happening to them. You don't want to tell them about that. And you don't want to tell them about that. Stuff can go away when you tell them about that. It can stuff certain stuff can go on. But yeah, um, my phone on 20%, but I'm gonna keep it going until my phone all the way just at like 1%, 10% or something like that. But yeah, it's like who to choose to be in a relationship with, right? Who do you choose? Who do you choose? What type of person do you choose? If you want to choose anybody, if you want to be in a relationship with anybody, but the thing is, I won't even trust my significant other that's a nerd. And these days, everybody's into some type of thing that's on TV. You know what I'm saying? And some type of entertainment. I wouldn't even trust being with a person that's a nerd. Like, I would trust my significant other that's like that they in conspiracy theories, but they don't know about gang stalking. That's a thumb up. They just look up conspiracy theories, like they very into that, but they don't know about gang stalking. That's a thumb up. That's a thumb up. Like that's a thumb up. Dating somebody that's a targeted individual, that's a thumb up. Um, but if you just got somebody that really like you, you know, some people, you got somebody that just really like you, just really like everything about you, whatever. Like that's a that's a good one. That's a good one. Like that's a good one. But yeah, my next live stream gonna be about what new targets want to hear. That one gonna be a fun live stream, more fun live stream than this one. I ain't really get no comments in here, so yeah. The other live stream will be well prepared. It'll be more prepared. I'll prepare the live stream a little bit more. But yeah, it's gonna be about what new targets want to hear and how to tell the difference from a new target and a perpetrator. Because that goes with the same thing. Like I hear people talk about perpetrators and stuff like that. I be agreeing with it. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. They send people. They send people. They make YouTube channels, bro. Like they'll make YouTube channels, you know, like they'll have people make YouTube channels based off of targeted individuals or one specific person. So I hear other targets talking about that, but like the new targets and a difference between how to differentiate a new target from a perp is like the same thing. It's like the same thing, and I'm not gonna get into it right now, but it's just certain things that new targets want to hear. Oh, everybody in my business, I can't even sit down and use the bathroom without um because why do you care about three little agencies watching you, right? Because that's all who watching you. Nobody in your life, no citizen in your life is sitting watching you take a dump or do anything else. Play a game, watch a TV show, nothing, bro. No, not no citizen. They might get information, notified. They might, perps might be dispatched to make it seem that way, but there's a scientific method in that. That's how they get your attention, which could lead to some very violent things. But yeah, like that's gonna be my next live stream. I might do that tomorrow. Um, yeah, I might go live tomorrow. I might give y'all another live tomorrow. This one really went. I guess this wasn't really that good of a live, but I would listen to me. The short answer really is no. I'm not in the live stream just yet, but the short answer to should you be in a relationship as a targeted individual would be no. And if you are in a relationship, it's going to be with someone that yeah, you can get a relationship. I have someone that I don't like. Let's keep it real. I have someone that I don't like how they look. Um, that I could be in a relationship with, but I don't like how they look. But if I acted like I liked them, I let it grow on me or whatever, however you want to put it, then I could be in a relationship. I can. You're not really going to get no. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But pretty girls, they don't be like they moving around. They moving around like they just gonna go this next person, this next person. They ain't really caring. But yeah, I have a person that I don't really like how they look, or had a person that I don't really like how they look, and I could be in a relation. I can be in a relationship with them, but I don't like how they really look like that. They don't. I've dated women that have slept with, not mentioning who at all, but I've dated women that have slept with athletes, bro, like NFL. Like I swear to God, I take a lot of type of tests. They told me that, and this was after me. This was after me. They one of them called me to tell me that. Matter of fact, it was two. This one girl, she was dating a dude that played for a college. I'm pretty sure in the NFL now, but he played for a D1 college, big college that's top 10. Been to that college that he played for has been to the national championship of college football and everything. And this other girl, she dated a dude that is a top NFL running back. I mean, not dated, but had sex with a dude, top NFL running back. And she called me just to tell me about it. I don't know why. I don't know why. I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? I didn't care, and I support her. Like, you know how she looks. I expect her to, do that. The last dude that I seen her with, I don't like that she's with him, and I don't want her to be with me. But I would expect her to be with someone that is in the NFL. But that's the stuff they do to you too. They want that stuff. I don't know why they want that stuff to get to you. Or they think it'll get to you, but it was getting to me to the point. It was getting to me. The way it got to me was when they was using, my ex girlfriends to to have sex with athletes and superstars or artists, whatever, right? And somehow I'd find out, whether they tell me or whatever, right? But the way they was doing that to me, was what the way it was getting to me, how it was making me react. It made me want to be a person that was on TV. That's how it made me want to be. It made me want to be that, but I don't care now. I don't care. I haven't cared in forever. I haven't cared in forever. I have never cared. Like it's not my business. But but yeah, she called me just to tell me that. Like not just to tell me that. We had a whole conversation. But why the would you tell me that you, bro? A girl I dated. This is like my favorite ex. We didn't date for that long. Like 4 months or something like that. Yeah, like 4 or 3 months or something like that. But this was like my favorite ex. It was so good. You know what I'm saying? It's so good. Like it's so good. But uh, yeah, like she called me just to tell me that she had sex with an NFL person. You know, we had a long conversation, but she mentioned that in the conversation like we wasn't dating before. Why would you call me just to tell me that? And then my arm all messed up. Like back then it was worse. Like he wasn't even moving. Like so I was in my like I went in my feel. I ain't cared in. I ain't cared in, but I went in my feelings. But it was just it was just like what the you know what I'm saying? It was just like what in the world? Like why would you even tell me that? I ain't even think about it much then. But yeah, she told me that she did stuff with two superstars, like an NFL one and somebody family that's a rapper that be around her and stuff like that. That was like 2018 or something like that. 2017, 2018, something like that. But yeah, like that, I don't really care. Man, that ain't never really make me angry or nothing like that. I just was, I got happy, bro. Like, but now I don't care. Like, I wish the best. Like, I literally wish the best for people. Like, I wish the best for people. Like, for real, because why not? But yeah, you don't get in relationships. It's not something that you want to do as a targeted individual unless you have your finances together, bro, because all they're going to do is hold you back, and then you're going to be looking back later. Like, you're going to be looking back later, like, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be looking back later, like, dang, like, I've been in this relationship this whole time. You can end up on the street off of being in a relationship that you're trying to keep somebody so happy. You can end up on the street like that, like, for real. So it's just best to just leave that stuff alone for a little bit if you can. Um, if you're in a situation of somebody staying with you and y'all paying both of the rent, y'all both paying half of the rent, half and half on the rent, that's what's up. That makes a lot of sense. That's something that you can do. But other than that, like, yeah, you just stay away from relationships, bro. Like, for at least a year. Stay away from relationships for at least a year. At least, I would say at least a year. Straight up focus on finances, focus on your financial status. Because, yeah, they trying to keep you broke as a targeted individual. Remember, I think I say financial deprivation is the first thing. What all targets complain about is that it's the same thing. Job mobbing, it's the same thing. Why are you trying to focus on a relationship? You have to get you have to get down and dirty. You gotta get down and dirty. I'm talking about like if you a single person, you know, I left my child and my baby mom for a little bit. I'm not gonna be out of my child life, but you gotta get down and dirty, bro. I'm talking about down and dirty. She number three right now. Well, she finna be three. So she ain't even thinking right now. I can be back when she like 4 or 5 and be taking care of her financially. Now she can play with toys and actually understand what the toys mean. You know what I'm saying? But in games and stuff like that, in clothing, whatever, right? But that's just something you don't want to focus on, bro. Like you don't want to focus on that. They trying to, you got to get down and dirty, especially if you single person out here. Like it's you just got you to worry about. If you paying rent somewhere, bro, you need to go somewhere you ain't paying zero rent. You feel what I'm saying? You ain't got no felonies. You need to get in a car and do um, DoorDash. Sleep in your car. Shoot, sleep in your car. There's places you can sleep in your car. Probably already mentioned that. Uh, Truck stops, the front of the truck stop at the gas stations, the front of the truck stop where people park at. You can sleep there. Not in the truck stop spots. They probably won't even say nothing to you. Um, hotels, nice hotels, parking lots. You can sleep at those in your vehicle. Even at night, I think I started sleeping in the day. Um, Doing DoorDash. I started sleeping in the day and doing DoorDash at night. When I used to sleep in the car, I would rent a car and do DoorDash at night and sleep during the day. But yeah, just for safety hazards. But you still can do it. You can sleep in the nighttime, especially if you at a nice hotel. Sleep at a nice hotel in the parking lot. Get a ride share app and do it like that. Especially you ain't got no felonies, nothing like that. You good. But yeah, um, relationships. I said don't do them. Just wait. Like wait for relationships. Wait to do it. Wait till you have your finances together to where it's just like you're good to spend money and go to work and have a relationship. Say if you got $60,000, you good to spend that money. You good to spend that money. You can spend money on people, dates, and all this stuff. Get her whatever she asks, and you still go to work that next day. Whether you spend $500 on what she asked, you get up and go to work that next day. You have money to fall back on. You know, so that's just stuff you have to understand. And if you don't understand that stuff, like that's literally what's going to happen, bro. Like that's what's going to happen. You're going to be in a relationship, and you're gonna be financially deprived through that relationship. You'll be financially deprived. You buying all this stuff. Like it happened to me. Like that's what happened to my baby mom. Like she thought I was like this is okay. I'm gonna say it like this. She thought I was like rich. I had a maximum of $5,000 while we was dating. So we was on dates pretty much every day, and I was acting like that because I had to. I was trying to keep what we had going on. She wanted to have a kid, so I was trying to keep what we had going on. She thought I was rich. I ended up staying with her, and she just seen, I lost my car because of no insurance, and she just seen that I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like she seen I wasn't no rich man, but I was trying to keep this stuff going. I was trying to keep it going, but I feel good about being out of materialism, being a person that does. I don't need materialism to get a significant other at all, at all. Some of y'all don't either. And if you do need materialism to get significant others, that ain't the person for you. I don't have a pair of shoes right now, bro. I ain't had a pair of shoes in years, bro. I ain't had a pair of shoes in years. You know how much cuckoo I be getting? You feel what I'm saying? I ain't had a pair of shoes in years. I ain't went shopping in years. So you can still get it going on. Most Targets be so scared that they ignore every opportunity of some cuckoo that comes or some vegetables that come near them. They be so scared. Well, you don't be scared. You'll like just don't take the opportunity. I take every opportunity. Now, mind you, I kind of be drunk everywhere I go unless I'm driving. So I take the opportunity. Like, I don't be that drunk. Like, I don't be that. I ain't never that drunk. But I'll be taking that opportunity and they go down, you know? Like, so that's just what that is. Like, but yeah, like, you just got to understand that type of stuff. They will put you in situations. They will have honey pots to financially deprive you by dating you, and you forget about targeting when you dating. I mean, I didn't forget about it. I still listen to the content and stuff like that. Of course, that was some everyday stuff. Like, I still listen to targeting content, but you kind of forget about it. For your relationship, you kind of forget about it. But just focus on relationships when you can. Focus on relationships when you can. Just focus on relationships when you can. And that's when you financially stable to a point like high five figures up. 50,000 and up. 20, well, I would say $20,000 and up. 30,000 and up. Something like that. That's when you can focus on relationships. And never give anyone your all. Ever. Never give anyone your all. You don't need to be on a date every day. You don't need to be buying stuff for somebody every day. My baby mom had me. Oh, I lost my AirPods. Bruh, don't you know I went the same day just trying to impress her and keep her? You know, I probably could have kept her without it, but, I'm just trying to make her happy. Like, just keep her happy, right? I went and got them AirPods that same day and brought them to her job. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro, just don't focus on it. But I'm about to end this live stream, get back to watching some content. I might be live tomorrow. But I love all y'all. We going through the same stuff. It's the same thing we going through. I love all y'all. If you don't understand, you'll understand later. You are going through persecution of similar stories that's in the Bible, bro. You know, but you'll understand that stuff later. Like, when you start to look into that type of stuff and realize, wow, a man that travels gains much knowledge. A man that travels gains much of knowledge, bro. A man that travels gains much of knowledge. You'll realize that. You'll realize why your people lack. People will perish for lack of knowledge. You'll realize that. Every God ain't for everybody, but he for targeted individuals. You ain't no satanic person. You being targeted, bro. So yeah. God bless. I love all y'all, and I'll probably be live tomorrow. I might be live tomorrow, but love y'all and peace out.